Hello everybody and welcome to Esports U. Over here on Esports U, we're hopping over to the NJCAAE for some Smash Brothers action, and I'm very excited for it. I am Keelan Miles, joined on the mic by Orbital, and we've got two up-and-coming schools, some community colleges, some nice homegrown talent going up against each other tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time, and I'm excited to get back into the rough and tumble of some Smash action. Of course, it will be Johnson Community College versus Community College of Beaver County, and like you said, homegrown talent, going to have a lot to prove and a lot to improve on as well, so I can't wait for the Specified to get started.
Yeah, these local communities, which I'm a part of quite a few of them myself, they grind against each other. So, if anything, when you don't go to a lot of your local scenes and you don't get invested in your local play style, you get hyper local. You play against the people that you practice with, your teammates, and you get a highly specialized play style. That's why so many colleges play very similarly to each other, and then they go up against different colleges, and it is a culture shock. So it's always exciting to see these online collegiate matches where worlds collide.
It's great. I am personally a Little Mac main, so I have no style, and it's just like kill or be killed, really. It's like if I go 2 feet off the edge, it's over. You know, that's all my game plan is. The best times, though, are watching ranged fighters not know how to play against close quarters because their whole scene is just, long-range battles and little intricacies like that, when someone's a little bit more acclimated to a fast pace or a slower pace or anything. All of those are brought to light whenever, like you said, these groups start fanning out, start playing against other areas, and it gets to be explosive fun.
Yeah, it's always fun seeing how just one little change in game plan can demolish someone. Like, I've heard of players, all they need to do to beat someone is just delay all of their actions by like a quarter of a second. And it just they don't know what to do. Their mental rhythm, their internal clock is just ripped apart by this little change in tempo. And that's sometimes all you need to do to trip up someone. If you get into their mental game, all of a sudden all these sloppy mistakes in their otherwise clean play style just ooze out.
I think that's how it goes in general as well. I want to say that it's so obvious, and at the same time, it's not, right? If you haven't played in those areas, it doesn't become, that battle. You only see the character in front of you. So I love that you point out that the mental state starts to get in there a little bit. After a while, if you play hours upon hours or against the same players, you do find that rhythm. Everyone dances to that same beat. And once you're in that cycle, like you said, if someone throws a stick in there, hits an extra beat, all of a sudden you're gone. You're off the edge. Everything's going all over the place. And the players that can adapt the fastest, that's what I'm really excited for. Those that can adapt within, I want to say within 20 seconds of realizing that shift, and it's a constant battle for the flow of the match, are going to be the winners. It's a best of 5, right? It's a first of 3. Whoever can grab that first and hang on, continue to hold on to that conductor's baton, will be the victor.
And we'll be able to see a little bit more as we're getting into it now. And this is an interesting one, one I know very well. Now, Google has a lot of concerns. I'm a Google player myself, but you've got to be careful with all of them because, well, Jigglypuff have very short, stubby limbs, and Luigi has a lot of get-off-me tools. But if you get right in their face, shove them off the ledge, that was almost a stock right there.
So close, and of course, it looks like for Beaver County, Luigi's having a little bit of a tough time trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, and now gets a very nice combo up the ledge, knocking out about 57%.
Yeah, Vic from Beaver County. They're trying to space with these fireballs and using this up. Setting straight up with the nair into the confirm. That's the thing. Jigglypuff dies early. It's so obvious, and yet you've got to call it out. And here's the 0 to death on a 40 like this. They use their dare to extend the combo. A little bit of a mix-up catches the DI out, and that's all you need to finish them.
This is dirty. This is dirty. I understand that the matchup is understood. I know it looked like Ty had a good handle on it, but my gosh, was that clean. Stocks back to back. It feels so good, and now it's going to be an angle for the Jigglypuff to ward. Hang on. Oh, nice knock. Unfortunate recovery.
Yeah, that was very nice. Ty from what I call the new school of Jigglypuff, but they're not going to get a chance to show their lessons. And nice DI out that time, knowing that Zare extension was coming. That's not quite true, but it is a good mix-up.
combo mix-up. And now Ty goes on the aggressive. Nice shield out and into the up B to finish it. It's just that easy. That's what Luigi mains say, right? It's just that easy.
Oh no, Orbital. That hurts to see. That really hurts to see, because Sing, it's got 3 distinct hitboxes that are out for a frame. Now you might say, wait, isn't it just one big hitbox? No, they come out in a rhythm, and if you manage to time your shield, time your get up in between that rhythm, in between those little bursts, you can just avoid being in Sing altogether. Like, again, I'm a Jigglypuff player. I've got a lot of very good players I practice with. There are some people who will literally just dash in and out. They'll time running in with a smash attack in between the little bursts of hitboxes.
That's when you know you played maybe a little bit too much Smash. It's like, oh, I know the fine, but it's not. It's not. You would think so, but it's not. It's knowing how to play the matchup, and I love it, right? It was early on, Ty coming out with some strong combos. You saw early on, nice couple floatos, nice moving to the ledge. And then out of nowhere, it was just the combos coming out from the other side. Beautiful, phenomenal play. The 2 stocks getting taken back to back, I don't think we're going to have again. I have a feeling Ty should be aware of what is to come, should not occur again. But my gosh, was that a very, very clean first game.
Yeah, and I think it was Vic, or it was Ty running the Luigi. No, it was Vic.
Yes.
The thing about Vic is they didn't even use all of the tools that make Luigi so terrifying, especially online, because Ty didn't really get the chance to combo them. If they did, they would have found that trying to go for something like, say, Pound Fair Rest, which is technically true, isn't going to work at all against a character with a frame 1 get off me tool in the form of Luigi Tornado that is invincible too. And obviously you can bait that out, but a lot of Jigglypuff's confirms, again, very short, stubby limbs, are things you have to commit to if you're going in. And if you're even a frame off on your execution, on your spacing, then you're just going to get reversaled, and that Luigi Tornado could just kill you outright.
It's not just, it's also because I think of the lower limit that Jigglypuff has in terms of kill percentage, right? Whereas a lot of combos you would have to rack up, you know, you're looking at maybe 80 to 90, maybe a little bit closer to the upper bridge of 100. Jigglypuff is by far the lowest, right? I think we saw confirms at 50. We saw confirms at 55. That's all you have to look for. It's one of those basic things that Jigglypuff is a high risk, high reward at points, of course. And if you're not willing to gamble, if you're not willing to gamble inside of that attack range, it all kind of spirals out of control. So hopefully we're going to see a more, maybe not so aggressive, maybe not getting caught so off guard. But of course, Vic is looking to move to that 2-0 percentage.
Yeah, and Ty, from what I saw briefly, playing this sort of new school of Jigglypuff, where you try and get a nair grab and get him off stage, you get an early edge guard, kill at a 30% window. And that down air too, an amazing tool for setting up into a salt hit there. So if they're able to use that, maybe they can get a little bit of mileage, but at the moment, you can see they're just playing a lot more carefully, avoiding this grab.
Yeah, phenomenal setup as well, and there's the rest that we were hoping for, but not in percentage. Unfortunately, that will be a nice rebuttal coming back. Great combo coming out. Back here to slowly fall in, 67%. 109 though on Vic, so another sign. Up they go, Tornado not landing.
It feels like every hit that Vic throws out is intended to kill us. Here's this attempt at a edge guard, but no. This Dolphin there can't confirm anything, but that Tornado won't quite kill, actually. Perfect DI to the corner.
That's something that Ty has done very, very well, but that's just a chop. Just a chop to the face. Ty's like, come on, I wanted that stock so bad. Vic was going to run out of time before that shield to come off. Now it's going to go on the punish. Nice knock from the center, though. Full charge. No outbursts there, but it's going to be... I love the misfires. I'm so sorry. I love misfires. I want to see them more. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious too, but it does make it a little difficult for edge guard because you're not sure when you're just going to get obliterated just like that. That is what we need to be seeing from Ty. Luigi, interesting recovery, but very linear. And if you're in the path of that recovery, you can just give them at almost zero. There's no aerial drift once you up B.
Just jockeying for position, and nice up tilt is going to keep Ty in the air. Vic keeping out of 0% ever since getting that single stock going. Not only getting tacked up a bit, but Ty having a bit of a struggle here, going for a little bit too close right there. You can see it just constantly stalling out in the attack, leaving room for those rebuttals. Vic keeping on edge. That should almost be it. No, again, very nice DIs from Ty here.
That was a nice space back air right there. Jumping up to catch that aggressive pound from the edge. Now you can see they want the low percent combo. There's no rage in play this time. That's what prevented the combo from going off without a hitch when they hit the grab previously.
Yeah, again, Ty's just looking for that opener. You need that first initial pop-up into the air to really set up the combos. And like I said, kind of that new school style, new school of guarding. But ooh, getting around the corner, Vic, and a little bit cheekily there. Again, only needs one more stock to move to 2-0, and that'll put Ty at a very, very rough spot.
Yeah, you do not want to be down 2-0, especially when Luigi can take you to places where he can kill you almost instantly. You go all the way down, and you can't quite find the kill. Now, you're in a little bit of a disadvantage. Just above Luigi and plenty of anti-airs there. A lot of fast moves, too. Luigi can just throw out hitboxes like they've never even went away.
Combo, but again, Ty's doing a great job of trying to break out of these combos, trying to block those fireballs, keep the angle in. Very nice neutral. Make sure, and that'll be the stock. Ty taking it a lot cleaner than expected. Again, still 77%. Any little hit is going to cause some problems, but looking 52 already here on the stock.
Yeah, they caught that roll away, and that was crucial. Now you pretty much have immediate kill percentage. One clean hit off stage, but they can also kill you. Look at all these confirmed. The back, they're falling through the platform. You weren't ready for that option, were you, Ty? As you're going to be taken out, and now you're down 2-0 against Vic. Definitely a lot closer on your counter pick, but it was still too far in the skill gap. And I want to real quick bring up, they brought Luigi to Kalos because they were getting killed by that 0 to death again and again. That up B, such a good confirmed kills off the top. And so they brought them to Kalos with higher ceilings, so you're not going to get killed as easily. You know what also doesn't kill as easily? Rest. And if they had gotten that rest on any other stage, they would have been a clean stock up.
Yeah, and as soon as that was recognized, it's like, oh, it's a double-edged sword. You saw the playstyle shift. There was a point, I want to say midway through stock 2 for Ty, that it was just a shift. It was saying, well, the combos aren't hitting as well. It feels like Vic is kind of reading the moveset here. Go for floaters, go for chip damage over and over again. You can see it, the float in, just looking for slight tags in it, and it threw Vic off as well. That's why it extended out so long, and that's actually how Ty managed to get that the first 2 stocks. And of course, it came down to just a one hit. It just went to that back. It was very, very solid, but honestly, I do feel Ty had a good handle at that point, had a bit better read of the tempo, and was starting to get the upper hand. It's maybe this is where we get to see the reversal. Maybe we get to see the Jigglypuff now come out on top.
We've been seeing them catch on to Vic's edge guarding habits, or rather recovery habits as well. Ty has been able to intercept the up B and knock them away to the range where they need a misfire to recover.
And what's crazy is I do believe this is Ty's once again saying, hey, I found the formula, now I'm going to give it a shot. Early stage, though, still going on the aggressive. Nice block of that grab and keeping that plunger from doing any dirty work here. 40 already on both sides. Now 60 on top.
You can see you're forcing Luigi to play a little bit more of a grounded game around these tilts, around these grabs, but speaking of the grab, the confirm, the fact that they can hit that so consistently is brutal. That's such a tight execution window.
There, and this time, that song does hit. It's going to be the finisher. A little bit of a nice style there. Ty dashing around, but that'll keep it even pace. 2 stocks apiece left, and now once again jockeying for those positions, using that plunger. Vic is going ahead and is trying to keep at that percentage. Once again, already up. Is going to back off, though. Surprising to say the least, considering it's already at 74.
On that pound, not safe on hit, and you can see they want this grab really badly. Chicken plus forward throw. No, good DI away to avoid that grab.
So close. You can see Vic really chasing for it, but Ty able to get out of it, and now chasing back. They're on the roll, but no connection on the damage, so it is going to be a chop to get back up on stage. Out they go. Is this going to be Vic? Misfire to get back. Ty knows that they escaped that very, very narrowly.
Yeah, and now, guys playing with fire. They go for that trade, and it's not in their favor. Taken out by the up smash. Now you're down a clean stock against Luigi, and they get the grab. They've got rage. They might just kill off the top here. But you're able to avoid the Zair extension this time. Now you have to make this edge guard count. This is your one chance.
Oh my god!
They go tech! And because of that, you're not going to be able to recover. It's not even, but at this point, Jigglypuff, as you saw earlier, can feel extraordinarily early.
Oh, when the true misfire hits twice in a row, you count yourself lucky or you count yourself unlucky. I don't know, but now control of the stage given over to Vic. That is going to be a float up. Nice recovery, but almost a tornado catches his nice dodge. Ty wants it. Combo right back. It was there, and that's going to be the up smash. Vic is going to take it. Narrow stock lead there. 3-0 for Beaver County and Vic.
And that was beautiful from Vic, because they had the awareness to go for that up smash right there, because the scoop hitbox, Luigi arches his back all the way around. It's like a straight up bridge. And when he does that, he shifts his hitbox very slightly. Did you see what Jigglypuff was doing? Falling down with the up air. If you saw earlier, that up air confirms into rest. And over 100%, the rage gives you increased knockback too. If they had hit that up air, it would have been game. We would have been on our game 4. But no, they go down for the low profile, shifting their hitbox with the up smash, and then throwing out their own hitbox right afterwards to finish off the stock.
It was so good, and I have to give props to Ty, right? The Jigglypuff, it's a difficult matchup. We already knew that going in. You pointed it out. You, as a Jigglypuff main, know that that can be very, very scary. But I love the fact that we could see those changes. The adjustments were made, and that's what I like to see, right? Being able to make it, and I'll say it over and over again, even though you lost 3-0, you can't always look at just the numbers. There were so many amazing points to be had. Ty with some fantastic combos. It's just the Luigi was able to burn his way to victory, I guess is the best way to put it. So much fun to watch, though.
Yeah, it really was. I'm honestly pretty impressed with how Vic was able to adapt at times. They were able to find, okay, they're getting out of my Zair combos. How else can I confirm? Oh yeah, Nair into up B. That Nair sends straight up. I don't actually know why. It's just been doing that for years. The Nair sends straight up, and so you jump up and get the up B. It's very situational, but again, this shows the incredible awareness that Vic brings to the table. Most people struggle against Jigglypuff because it's not that you can't combo Jigglypuff, it's that the combos you go for are incredibly different from anyone else on the cast due to her small and floaty nature. Vic was not deterred by that in the slightest. They were able to get, well, every little chip of damage you could. They were able to get these confirms that you only would know if you practice specifically against this character. So incredible awareness. And we can ask them more about how they got to that level against Jigglypuff and how they feel about this little win of theirs in a little interview. We'll be getting to that in just a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere. Esports U will be right back. Welcome back to Esports U Broadcasting NJCAAE. We're here with Vic, the Luigi from Beaver County Community College, who just put on a show with a 3-0. How you doing today, Vic?
I am doing quite well today, sir.
Yeah, I mean, after that win, I'm not surprised. You were doing fairly well, and one thing I want to shout out is you were getting some great extensions on a floatier character like Jigglypuff. Are you very experienced against smaller floatier characters like that?
I am decently experienced against floating characters. The character I'd say I have the most experience with comboing, specifically would probably be Kirby. I have
Mm.
put in a lot of hours into this game. I have put over 5,000 hours, in particular in the training mode. I have labbed out many combos and many extensions for my character Luigi, and I know a lot of my combos very well. I know that
It's
when I down third Jigglypuff was there to up B, I know that's pretty good in section. But I also know that if I have rage, it's easier to do post combo fast forward. So I know a lot about my character. I almost got the Jigglypuff with a down throw down there to Zaire up B, I believe, but I did not get that because my up B was slightly off. I would have finished that game a lot sooner if I was able to get that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It seemed like it. I mean, your
My combo
experience really
extensions
showed,
are
especially.
obviously what I believe I'm best.
It shows. And I mean, it was a fantastic showing here. Again, 3-0. The adjustments were made as well. As you said, mapping out all of these and having such a fantastic game here against the Jigglypuff, do you feel like you can carry this over into any of your other matchups? I mean, you know the floaty characters. Do you feel this confident going into, say, a more brawly heavy matchup?
Like, yeah, like in, I guess like when you're getting more rush down, like in those scrappy situations, because Jigglypuff is more almost like an aerial hit and run. Like, do you think those like those more rush down characters will? Oh, did they freeze? Oh no.
Me?
Oh,
Okay.
sorry about that. We
I did freeze.
sorry
Hello,
about
did
that.
you get that? Sorry about that. So
Yeah, we were
Jigglypuff,
just kind of
that
curious about other matches. Yeah, go ahead.
about
Sorry.
Jigglypuff, I believe she definitely is at best case scenario against Luigi against his and against like edge guard. Edge guarding off stage is definitely her strength in the matchup. So obviously, as a Luigi myself, I do not ever want to be off stage. I don't. That's kind of the goal of that. So if I'm off stage, I'm in trouble for sure. I think the deal with Jigglypuff and her trickiness, though, kind of difficult to explain it, but I was really using what they call fade out fireball, where I was using my fireball momentum and actually not exactly be reversing, but I was using that as a tool to neutral to help me face out against Jigglypuff. That fade out fireball might have been able to get me a few neutral wins in that game or any of those games, as well as that. And I believe that there was one time I definitely zeroed that with Jigglypuff. They went in a little too much and they were a little bit too aggressive. So I was able to actually pivot grab reverse right in their face and punish them for that aggressive misplay.
Yeah, and that was a very strong punish. And those punishes, they don't come easy. Like you said, you've been in the lab constantly, 5,000 hours in the game. And I have to assume you're still in there from how that match went. So, are there any confirms or on any characters, not even related to this match, that you've been working on that you're like proud of the progress you're making right now? Like, what
Well,
are you labbing right
there's one specific combo on a peach that utilizes reverse up air to up B in the air. I think it's at like 12%. I did a Zair, and a down throw, and then a neutral air, and then two up airs, and another reverse up air into up B. I like that. I like that's the thing I struggled the most is reverse up air and up B. And the fact that I got that on peach before, I had the clip of it. I think that's a very nice combo. There's many combos I like. There's also the Venus combo. This player named Venus, very well, anyway, sorry about that. I thought I had to be quiet. There's a Venus combo. Basically, all it is you do down throw, double down, or up B. That's also a really niche combo you can do as well. It's very exciting to get, but it's DIable and predictable. Well, yeah, it's DIable. It can be tech, so it's more of a mix-up combo. Those are just two examples of combos I like to do in the lab. And then I'll give you a third one. I'll give you my last one that I'm going to give. There's a combo that you can do with Luigi. You can actually set up zero depths with his back air zero. So if I land with his back air and I do a down taunt, it can lead to a grab or anything. It can lead to a grab or floater, and it can just lead into one of those strings, and I can get a kill off of that too. There are many different ways Luigi can actually get a kill that don't even necessarily have to involve grab.
Yeah, as you definitely demonstrated with those like nair to up B strings. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's a very classic simple one.
All right. Well, either way, Vic, that was an amazing performance, and it's clear you earned that win with a lot of hard work. And with all this practice you're putting in, I can't wait to see what else you do. But for now, thank you so much for the performance. Thank you for your time, and best of luck in wherever you go next.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah. We certainly will have a wonderful day because we do have one more match coming up in just a little bit. Another NJCAAE match. So stick around. Esports U will be back in just a little bit. Welcome back to Esports U, bringing you all that NJCAA action. I am Keel Miles, joined once again by Orbital for another great best of 5 showcase between Catawba Valley Redhawks taking on the State Fair Community College.
Yeah, it's going to be a good match, and I'm excited because I want to see so much more action. We saw Jigglypuff versus Luigi just match before, Luigi sweeping it, of course, not without Jigglypuff giving a couple angles in there, but I'm excited to see what else the other schools can have, going back to our main point, which is the diversity, right? The different styles that can be produced at different colleges can yield so many interesting results, and watching all of those culminate in this league, I think will be a nice little taste of its own.
Yeah, and Beaver Community College we saw previously had a very labbing mentality. I mean, they were broadcasting from an esports lab, and those teams with a very practice-minded regiment where they're not just playing against each other. No, they're practicing specific drills over and over again. That's something you see in traditional sports a lot. And when you have a very sports-centric, competition-centric mindset in your sports or your school's program, that's the kind of amazing play you see come out of it, like we saw from the Beaver Community College's representative.
Yeah, it was Vic really taking it home like that. The only thing I really hope is that we don't see that individuality, be lost within the labbing. Lab is great. It produces here. He was practicing 3 or 4, possibly even 5 that he didn't want to mention of different combos and styles that he was going to bring to the table. But I also love to see the uniqueness, right? Everyone has those same characters. Everyone's afforded the same usability in terms of what characters you want to specialize in. But everyone has their own unique kind of ticks. We were talking about earlier, the tempo, the rhythm, the style, the flow. I still want to see that come out, even if it is very lab heavy, tech heavy. Bring that to new heights with your own little sprinkle of flavor on there.
Yeah, and when you're in the lab like that, it all really depends on, what you do once you find the optimal combo. Because in your quest to find optimal, to find true perfection, you will find a lot of mix-ups and extensions that you're like, that doesn't really seem useful because now I found this true 0 to death combo. But what if the opponent is incredibly proficient at using Smash DI and DI together in sync to get out of that one optimal combo? Then what do? What do they do if they put the Eidos on you? Then you have to turn back to those rejected combos that aren't quite a 0 to death, but it's a way to extend. So a thorough knowledge of everything your character can do, the ways in which you can move them, the ways in which you can have amazing punishes, that is what can be gained from all that labbing, even though you can, like you said, lose a little bit of individuality sometimes.
Yeah, it's all about how you put in, not how much time, I would say, but how you utilize the time, what you can do with the opportunities afforded to you. And how we're playing Inkling versus Ness. Okay, we're having a blast.
Now, this is going to be difficult because Ness has a lot of these low-to-the-ground aerials, but Inkling's dash looks to go underneath quite a few of them. So you've got to be very careful with how you're spacing them. But right now, this is a boxing match. You're only affording a few straight hits until you land that PK Fire, that combo starter.
Keeping the aerials going, Beef is having a fantastic time here, really bouncing around, and it'll be Remy's side to try and fight back. Trying to go the roller down, trying to get some of the stuns. Nice full paint shell, but unfortunately the DI doesn't land, and Remy loses the stock.
Ooh, and we might be stuttering a little bit right there. That's only to be expected. We're trying to connect all these colleges from all around the world. So, yeah, we're just going to be taking a brief recess as we get this all sorted out. But while we do that, I do want to talk about real quick. That was really... That PK Thunder that we saw that got the kill, that stage spiked them, the reason that got them, that was a hard call out, because Inklings, they love to rise up and throw that bomb off ledge. But while you're doing that, think about where your hands are on your controller. You're angling, you're not ready to get the tech when you get knocked into the stage and sent straight down. And even though that should be a very easy technique to hit, when you're doing that bomb toss, you're focused on that. You're not ready to be suddenly reversaled from across the stage by something at PK Thunder. Wait, I thought that sent you out, not in. It's all about those little bits of microspacing.
And it's all about having your eyes on the wider field, right? Especially with projectiles, because you have to control so many different areas. You have to be aware of the stage in its entirety. The best players, the best character control can come from just having a wide-eyed view. It's the muscle memory. Okay, I'm sending my projectile here. I already know this move. What's happening with my character on the other end? And I think personally that comes through mostly in doubles, right? Where you're constantly having to worry about your teammate, what's happening over there. That experience can be brought over with the projectiles, especially with how hard they were going at it with those spacing issues, right? Ness, of course, was moving in. I believe it was Beef that was getting those close fights. And you could see the rollers coming out from Remy, but as soon as those projectiles came out, it is one stock being taken only, but that is very, very telling. And now Remy kind of has a feeling about what they're going up against, someone that can exploit those individual mistakes that can come out, or just those brief glances of opening within the armor of an Inkling.
And we'll see how that armor holds up as Remy looks to tighten up the scales, try to themselves a little more, as they're going to be losing this first round, because that's where we were at the end. This is an agreement that the players came to on their own, so we're going to stick with it over here. We respect how the players are going about it.
I love it. Sportsmanship all around, of course, no hard reset, because who really wants to do that? The stock was taken fair and square. Can't call lag on that one. But this is Remy actually going on a very quick offensive. You can see as soon as Remy's allowed on that lower stage, you can see the control is already given to the Inkling. Look how fast they're moving around, really keeping pace with Beef. But now Beef getting a little bit of handle, now going for that ground game, and an immediate flurry of blows with that A. But the neutrals are going to fly out. Of course, that's going to be another little punch. That's, of course, completely covered in paint right now. Beef on the receiving end of this strength.
Ness is covered in paint and hitboxes. Beef is being very proactive with how they're throwing out these moves, and that means if you ever miss space, the move is already out to hit you, and because of how long they linger, like that PK Fire, like that forward air, if you miss space, those proactive thrown out moves are going to be the bane of your existence. But if you're able to stuff them out before they can get them out, that kill, like you obliterate that PK Thunder right there. There's no coming back from that. The snipe from Remy.
All right, Remy giving Beef a little bit of their own medicine right there, tossing out a little bit of the snipe, like you said, and that one's even more difficult, I would say. The paint bomb is so difficult to kind of angle in and kind of guess. It's so slow in that maneuvering, but considering Beef on that nest also has a long timing to land on, it takes so long for you to actually activate your boost in the air, right? The up B, the PK Fire, it's so good. Phenomenal job by Remy. Now how much energy you put down? You put down about 36. It's not terrible, not a great stock, but it's still decent, I would say.
And the roll behind grab, that's a great mix-up. It's going to keep Remy on their toes. It's kind of hard to hit because most people can just react to it, but when they don't, you get a free kill out of it. Now playing around the center stage, you're able to just stuff out the approach with that disjointed PK Fire, and you chase him onto the platform, but Remy has great defense to avoid a true follow-up.
Oh, the shield drop just at the unfortunate time. Remy definitely trying to roll out of that, I think, or at least spot dodge, and unfortunately fell through. Remember, this is Remy's last stock here. It's going to be a difficult point. You had to play this just right. Remy was holding the low ground just right, but now it's going to be an aggression right back. Peep keeping so well. Again, charge up on that up smash. Not going to hit. I think that was up smash at least. I think I'm a little bit slow on that one. Now paint all over the place. Remy out of paint, out of potential options. PK Fire with the chase. Ooh, nice DI.
Quarter catches their air dodge above ledge, and they're actually going to interrupt Inkling's recovery. That thing is so fast, a streak of paint splashing across the horizon, barely able to catch them. As now 54, they're forced to air dodge, but they're able to get the shield out in time to avoid that forward smash this time.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit difficult. Of course, it is 190, 191 and counting. Beef having a little bit of trouble actually confirming this, but it's very close to all that's left. Again, Beef knows just one more hit count. However, Remy gets the throw. Again, the rage is giving a little bit of credence to this battle. But one single hit, a single side swipe would be the end, and that's when the grab should be the finisher. Throw to end it just like that.
Yeah, and even though Beef struggled a tiny bit to get the kills, it didn't matter because they were constantly racking up the damage. Even when they weren't looking to get kills, they were always looking for damage. And sometimes those two Venn diagrams happen to overlap right there. Looking for kills, looking for damage. At a certain point, when they're, say, at 190, they become one and the same.
Yeah, there's no difference. There's absolutely no difference. It's just like, all right, you get tapped on the shoulder, you're gone. And looking towards game number 2, I want to see Remy continue the control on the ground, because I heard me throughout the entire broadcast, and I understand that it might be a redundant point at this time, but it was very, very good. That's actually where we saw Ness struggle the most. Not able to land that PK Fire, not able to stretch out that space in between them and the Inkling. It was Remy controlling those fights, able to rack up the damage actually down there. And honestly, now that we get a chance at a even start at a 3-3, I feel like it could be drastically different, right? Remy, now getting the tempo, now getting the ship down, could have the potential to stand head and toes to Beef on that Ness.
Yeah, and I think the main key of it was being very proactive. You are faster than Ness in the air and the ground, and now on Captain Falcon, you are even faster. And the trick of it is to get there before those hitboxes come out, because I kept calling them out. Beef is always putting a hitbox out, even when you're not on top of them. And so if you're able to get there before those attacks manifest, then you can get your opening, as we saw on that one edge guard.
Animal Crossing dancing out a little bit here. I like it, and already going with a side piece, just getting that raw combo in. Good damage racking up, but not the sweet spot. That'll be Remy showing off a little bit here. Shoulder charge into the side B once again. Getting those knocks in means Beef is quite already in percentage. 82-42. Seriously getting caught. Beef may not be ready for exactly what's to come with this Captain Falcon.
Yeah, this Captain Falcon is a great switch-up. I was saying you need to be a little more preemptive. Captain Falcon chooses when and where he engages with. He has the speed to do it and the combos to make it work. And you get stomped and come all the way up the top with just the tip of that toe.
I definitely feel Ness would have been a little bit shaken up. Beast just like, that shouldn't have finished it off. But now, a full stage combo racks it up to 47, already matching Remy's damage on current state. That's a great handle to have. Remy showing a completely different look here on a whole new character instead. for that longer. Instead of going for this one, instead is now moving real up close and personal. B still having trouble catching those edges. You see it. And once again, getting caught. The burn is too real right now.
Oh yeah, but this is where you can struggle a little bit with these projectiles and that nair too. It's an amazing combo breaker, and Captain Falcon's all about the combos. So if you break them in half, well then you're not going to be quite as hot as there. You set up the edge guard situation, and I do love that Remy attempted the edge guard, but it's going to be fun.
Very nice punish at that. At least taking that stock, not letting it go to 3-1 in the stock score. That's going to be the down smash. Almost gets the knee off. That's going to be a little bit of a throw to rack it up. And again, he's just trying to shield it up. At this point, I've given up on going straight aerial. I think it's just going for kind of the plant the feet and work with it right there. You can see it hold steady, and now going for their own shine across the stage. Not going to have it handled.
And now Ren playing under this platform. Oh, they love this side beat combo starter, and I see why. It's got super armor. It's a, you know, as I said, combo starter, and it anti-airs every time Ness goes through these little short hop aerials. Because now, oh, they went for the blow behind grab that they went through in game one. The Remy and that, and they get the reversal this time. Up air, move. Just like that, your stock is stolen, obliterated by the knee of justice. And with that, Rem ties things up 1-1.
That hurts. That hurts 100%, right? You only got one stock off, and this is gonna be beef going back to the drawing board. Now that you know that the Captain Falcon is on the table, you have to rethink everything, right? You have to sit there and go, well, that Captain Falcon honestly dominated from start to finish. Almost every single was completed for the Captain Falcon. It was always Remy in control. The only times we didn't was, of course, the chip damage that came through, and then the PK fires up above, which Beef still had on lock. But you have to realize you're now in complete disadvantage. Anytime you prep for those, the fast fall into the charge, into the solo check, or into the side B will catch you 100%. If you don't have another character, we're going to have to see a completely different setup, a completely different style come out from Beef if they want to move into a 2-1 situation.
Yeah, and this was, I think, a very good indication of something you know very well, where having less tools actually makes you think a little bit more about how you use that. Captain Falcon, you know, as a Little Mac player, when you have only a couple tools, you get very good at using those few tools. Captain Falcon, quite a few tools to use. They've got amazing combo potential and great neutral. However, the issue is they are a momentum-based character, and Donkey Kong against Captain Falcon. I was just talking about their combos. Captain Falcon, you gotta keep in mind, momentum-based literally. If you go in, it's very hard to turn around to stop that speed. You are working towards your opponent. So if you're able to catch out those approaches when they come in, that's gonna...
Not just that, yeah, you can see it here. Remy's just like, this is drastically different than what I was expecting. Beef, not only with kind of the stalwart style, DK is much more difficult to completely pop off, right? You're looking at potentially, without the knee, you're really looking at, I want to say 140 at a better percentage, right? Beef will consistently be able to kind of sit in the middle, be able to maintain. Look at that. At 100, barely gets any lift off the ground. And that's what I think Beef was looking for. Still, though, as I said, that knee coming out, electricity through the monkey here. Beef already down a stock.
If you're able to use those anti-airs, you know when you're a big body that Remy wants to combo you. So you're able to knock him out of there, slap him with those big monkey hands, and you use the preemptive up B. That preemptiveness, that willing to match when they are right on top of you, that saved Beef's life right there. But that won't give you that, give you a bigger band-aid.
Oh, Remy's just like, all right, I gave you a stock. All right, let's get back into it. 2-1 in the stock score. It is going to be Beef on the receiving end. Even though you're bigger, you're a little bit slower and much easier to hit. That's going to be another setup. One more knee could do it. Nice out. Trying to stay in this game, but it's becoming increasingly difficult. Gonna set up on the edge, almost gets grabbed, but no! The neutrals are so much better. Remy holding steady on this edge. 102 and then some. The setup is there. One more up tilt. That's not gonna be there. Up air, very sorry. Now they're gonna finish two. Full slam on the ground.
Damage racking up. They're able to get the anti-air once again. They're catching all these landings. These aggressive air dodges are being punished. They're being frame trapped right now, and they're actually able to end it to attention. Even though you're shot down, you don't space around that slide beam, but you're still alive. You're still kicking just like you're
Oh!
down for their aggression, and even though at max rate, you make it easier.
Oh, Remy, 180 Beef. Beef knows that they're playing on a nice edge right now. A single hit could be it. No charge miss either. So no real throw combo that could be made. Shield is wearing down the thin. This is going to be dangerous. Remy needs to get a hit, needs to set something up. There's a grab.
Is it back there? No. DK's a heavy little lad. You're going to survive for a long time. And that's a nice road recovery, too. Normally, DK doesn't want that, but you're able to survive. Oh, he's about to kill. You're at 214%, and finally they're able to send him, slam it against the screen. B gave him a run for their money, but in the end, Rem Falcon remains supreme.
That was it. That was it. It was, I want to say, almost the same as the Nest game. Complete dominance from the side of Remy. The difference was it just took a little bit more, right? Double pretty much whatever Nest had to take. At the very end, that last stock took 225. 225! That is a ridiculous number to have to hit if you want to get the finisher. Remy knew it though. Remy played it, I want to say, exceptionally well. Figured out that Beef may not have been as comfortable on the DK. Maybe it was a shot in the dark because the combos were not there. The stall outs, you saw it right at the tail end, I want to say. We saw a couple, like you were saying, the confirms, as well as keeping those air dodges and punishing it appropriately. But as soon as Remy got that under control, it was all the Captain Falcon show. And now you have to be worried. Beef's gone 2 characters deep. Is the third one going to be the charm, or do you default back to maybe that Ness or DK?
I think the Ness is the better call because DK, with Remy's punish game, it is a hard call to make to go to that DK. DK is combo food. Anytime a DLC character comes out, you will see on Twitter the next day, oh, I found a way to 0 to death Donkey Kong. Just because they are a heavy character, they're a big body. When they get hit, they get bigger because of how cartoony they are. And beyond just that, Captain Falcon gets so many setups of characters who have a very linear recovery all the way to ledge. Now, they were able to exploit that knowledge. They were able to throw out a spike right as they came in. And what? They're going to the Jigglypuff now? Ness, Donkey Kong, and Jigglypuff. Those are 3 wildly different characters, and I'm not sure, like, what the mentality is for them. But Ram is looking to bring it all the way home.
Well, I do like this stage instead, and again, Beef taking that one in is going to have a bit better handle here as we get a little bit of a prep setup here. They are going to dance their way in. And again, I like this a little bit because, again, for Beef, it's a little bit higher angles, right? You have a bit more range to work with, but those platforms also work in Remy's advantage. This is going to give the aerial combos much more of a large space to work with.
Remember what I said about the Luigi match, how you have to have very specific combos, very specific knowledge in order to combo Jigglypuff? That's clearly coming into play here. This is a good, oh my gosh! They're just barely able to survive that footstool, but they're not able to combo Jigglypuff. They're playing entirely around stray hits, 1 hit at a time. This has become a war of attrition.
You know what? You said 1 strike. I think Remy went for 2. Both kicks do connect. Phenomenal stock to be taken, and now Beef is on the very, very hard aggressive shield, very, very low. And so, of course, that does mean Remy just goes, okay, I'll go on the fight. 114, still dancing it out fairly well. And now Beef trying to dance back and forth. The floats across the stage are getting a little bit ridiculous here. Beef with a nice knockup. Remy trying to chip down at least 50 or 60 would be good here. And all right, just a stock. Screw it. Don't listen to the caster. Take that stock, Remy.
And with that stock taken, now they get to jump red, and yeah, they're just committed. They're like, okay, you got it. Shake my hand, but you still have 2 stocks left to go, and you've been dash attacked. Now you're in the air above Captain Falcon, and you don't want to be anywhere near that up smash, anywhere near that up air, because now they're struggling to round. They're able to just get 1 pound, but that's it. Now it's play. You get anything more?
Try. Unfortunately, Remy definitely keeping Jigglypuff at a large range disadvantage. That's going to be a drop down right in the way of Beef, though. And that's going to put him at a shooting advantage. Remy goes up 96. This is more than enough for kill percentage. Remy completely going out of their way. A nice side tilt. He's going to flip Beef in the side, but it's dangerous here on out. Remy, I think, is trying to show off a little bit here. Oh, loses stock for it.
Ooh, that was great positioning right there. And we're in this another scenario where they could easily take it with an edge guard. And a forward for each is good. If they had read that jump, they could have gotten this stop. And now the Falcon taking the late hit of the Nair. Just the tip is enough for Remy to send it home. After going down one game, they brought out the captain. And you gotta salute the Chief right here, as the Captain Falcon proved dominant against the barrage, the boss rush of all three of the characters, bringing home the victory for them.
I love the character swap up, I have to say. I love the idea of having so many characters at your disposal. The problem was also the selection. Maybe this was just a rough matchup, right? Take a look at the characters that were brought out. You went from projectile to slow and big to slow and floaty against someone that specifically is designed to punish all three of those aspects. It really does feel like it was just a rough matchup there for Beef. Got caught off guard, and especially with the Captain Falcon, I don't feel you see it as often, maybe, over where Beef plays. It just didn't seem that they were ready for some of those angles that were being taken. So Remy coming out with a definitive round, and I have to say, I love that swap. Captain Falcon looking clean on all extents.
Yeah, they certainly were. And I do want to compliment, because we spent so much time talking about what they could do to mitigate Remy's Captain Falcon, because obviously you want to be seeing them with all these switch ups get the upper hand, bring us to that game 5. However, a lot has to be said for the fact that Remy is able to switch from one character to the other and is not even phased. The way Inkling combos is a lot of nairs, it's horizontal. Meanwhile, Captain Falcon gets the ladders. Up air into up air into up air into nair. Nair at low percents to carry you across the stage, and then up air to carry you out, and then knee to finish you straight off towards the side. It's a very different mentality, and it shows a proficiency, not just in your main, but in a ton of other performances.
So much fun. Just a glorious round to be had, and 3-1 score, no problem whatsoever. Really, really well done again by Remy.
And with that, once again, it's going to be the conclusion for now, but we are going to have just a little bit of an interview. We're going to be getting that set up in just a second, so don't go anywhere. We'll be finishing off the night with an interview in just a couple of minutes.
Let it now.
Welcome back to Esports U, wrapping up NJCAAE with an interview with Rem, who was the Captain Falcon, who got the reverse. After going down one game, they got 3 consecutive points to win it out, and she is here going off. How you doing, Rem?
Hi, I'm good. Pretty pumped. I'm coming down to my gauntlet right now.
Of course, you had a phenomenal series, and again, even with a little bit of a technical issue at the beginning of that first game, you came back in stylish fashion. I have to ask, was it a little bit difficult to have a mental reset after that first game? You know, that interruption there, or was it pretty seamless? Were you just like, hey, I still got it in the bag?
To be honest, I felt really bad because it was like, oh, like they just had a lead and I just took it away from them because of my knocking. And I felt bad, so I was like, I can be the first stock to make it more fair. It is completely my bad. I just knocked over my Switch and my coffee in the process. But it was kind of tugging at me when I was playing. So after the first game, I was like, I gotta change things up. I gotta make sure that I'm playing clear-minded.
And so was that why you went for the character switch to Captain Falcon?
Hours with.
Yeah, and so you feel a lot more comfortable on that. Like, you obviously did from your performance, but like, what about Captain Falcon is like, well, makes them your number 1 character?
Captain Falcon has been my strong go-to main for all of the years I've been playing Smash. I've played since Melee. I was competitive in my home state, Utah, which I'm new to North Carolina. I've only been living here for like 4 years. But when I was in Utah, I played competitive Melee and I played Falcon. When Smash 4 came out, I didn't play much Brawl, but when Smash 4 came out, I also played Falcon a lot. And then in Ultimate, of course, I just picked Falcon back up. So I have probably collected like 2,000 or 3,000 hours for Falcon alone through every iteration of Smash.
There you go. So I guess the big question is, what decided to bring out the early characters before, right? What was the big mind shift? Is it that you have to open up your repertoire of characters, or was it that you just wanted to try out something new for the series?
Inkling is one of the characters I've been practicing this season. I'm also new to the season. This is my first season, but I really wanted to try to shift to playing Inkling because I like their playstyle. But I know when push comes to shove, sometimes I pull out Falcon again just to like make sure that I am still in it, you know.
And well, from this win, we can see you certainly are. And I do want to ask, because it was a bit strange. You don't usually see 3 switch ups in one match. So what was it like playing against those? I think three different characters.
It was very interesting. I thought they were going to stick with Master at the entire thing. So when I saw DK on Final Destination, I was like, wait, I was not ready for it at all. I didn't know how from their other playstyle. Because like Neth and DK are very different characters, so I didn't know they were going to like play aggressively, play defensively, or like how it was going to be. So it had me a little bit worried, but once I got the first lockdown, I was feeling a little bit more confident.
Yeah, and that confidence carried you all the way through. A nice win for you and a nice win for Top of Valley. And overall, just congrats on that little win. And thank you so much for coming in for this interview, Rem.
Thank you.
Yeah, and with that, we are going to be closing things out. Thank you all for so much for watching NJCAA Esports, or Smash Brothers, rather. I have been Kilo Miles. This has been Orbital, but we are not done yet. Esports U still has more stuff coming at you. ECAC Rocket League with, I believe, Pyro J and Morky Mork are coming up in just so stay tuned. We've got more esports coming at you.
Welcome everybody to ECAC regular season. This is week number 3 on the Esports U broadcast. My name is Pyro J. I'm joined here with Morky Mork for the Rocket League action. Morky couldn't be more happy to be joined with you in the booth. I hear we have 2 strong competitors joining the field tonight.
We absolutely do. We've got Ball State Red, RL Red, and we have SAGU RL Lions. Both teams undefeated so far. Ball State with 2-3-0 sweeps, SAGU with 2-3-2 victories. So this is either going to go to game 3 or it's going to go to game 5. It's going to go either all the way or it's going to be an easy sweep for Ball State. But we'll have to see exactly what happens when we get on the field. It should be an interesting one anyway, to see exactly how these teams get on together.
Yeah, I do wonder if Ball State has been tested, right? Not dropping a game for 2 full weeks, and now they're in the 3rd week against an undefeated team. So you do wonder if this is going to be the test for them, if finally we are going to be going into this series, as things could get caught ablaze very quickly between 2 undefeated teams. We're going to waste no more time, folks. Game number 1 is on between Ball State Rocket League Red and SAGU Rocket League Lion.
And a good start here as well for Ball State, getting that ball up nice and using that burial route. And there's an opportunity to shot on, and Zek will score that one, and it's 1-0 already. Ball State flying at the blocks.
Undefeated and unrivaled already. A zooming ball is going to be shot in. I guess this is how you start off your dominant streak, Morky, is by scoring as quickly as possible.
Exactly, and that puts, well, like normally the best five first minute is very tentative. The fact Ball State have come just flying at the blocks, I mean, they're showing a real sign of intent here. They don't want to hang around. They're not getting paid to hang around either. They're here to win as quickly as they can. They're going to be stuck here for 5 games. They're going to be here in 15 minutes.
Well, they want to be here back in the orange half to fire away shots again. It's crazy Kyle to try and 50-50 away Zeth, but we've already seen how lethal Zeth can be on the ball. Here it is, Peyton up for a shot, denied. Ball State looking pretty comfortable on defense. Every single time SAGU get a chance, Ball State are just on every single shot, every single challenge as quickly as they can be.
Yeah, lovely little pre-jump there as well, making sure that the offensive attacker could not get in a position to hit that ball nicely and cleanly and put that one down. But here's a chance for a double tap for K-Tan. He's done very well. He's put that down. What a save on the line. Fantastic. But the one-up shot off the crossbar still not in. How did that not go in? That one finally does go in. XX Hood levels this one up. SAGU get reward for some good pressure.
Teetering upon the goal line. I couldn't believe that never went in, but I guess it surely did. SAGU, imagine them walking away from that attack without a point on the board. They're gonna nail it there, equalize, and it appears that 2 undefeated teams are worthy of such a record.
Really are. And right now, I'm really enjoying the midfield battle. Whoever's winning that right now is grabbing that boost. Whoever's really assaulting that line on the midline, as making it so difficult for their opponents to break through. And here's an open net opportunity, perhaps, but Luigi gets back in time to make the stop. But, you know, it's back and forth so far. That midfield line is really important for both teams, and it's going to be interesting to see, can they keep that offensive pressure up when they're in the ascendancy.
Yeah, and Ball State, they were trying to keep that pressure up. The last shot taker put the ball off the backboard to try and get a pass to another teammate, but there was no other teammate. The third hadn't rotated quickly enough, and Ball State have to be careful about those precarious situations where they don't have the rotations moving as quickly. It was almost a breakaway open net for SAGU, but the open net is coming in for Ball State. Get Over is more than ready to nail this home.
Fields backflip, man, for Keaton. He's trying to get up, but he backflips. So it's probably too late anyway. It's a great shot. It's hit with a lot of power. And it flies right into that left-hand corner. And it makes it 2-1. Such a difficult shot to stop. And right from the kickoff as well, Ball State just doing so well in the kickoffs. They got those strats down, doing very well. Crazy Kyle's got a flip reset, but he can't use it. And that was good. That was a good opportunity for SAGU to fight right back in this game.
It's good to see these teams getting a little more settled into this game. You can tell when players go for extra mechanical plays like that for the flip reset that they're ready to strut their stuff. Normally that comes into the later games, but right off the bat, 2 very confident teams are throwing things at the net, and Luigi will be the last to execute for Ball State. It's a 3-1 lead now. Could they be going away with it?
think so. The problem is that SHEU are very aggressive in defense. They want to make those challenges as quickly as possible. They want to ensure they're in a position to get that ball clear as quickly as possible. They panic a little bit in defense, you could say, because that's what aggressive defense usually is, unless your teammates, opponents are extremely aggressive offensively and looking for mad plays. Usually being aggressive on defense means you're a bit panicky in defense. So I feel like SAGU need just to calm down a little bit and really settle in defensively, because Ball State are going to have opportunities. They're a good team.
That's right, SAGU having a tough time keeping up with this pace. It feels like Ball State have put the treadmill at 12 miles per hour and are just hoping that they keep up and up and up with the pace. So far, for the most part, they have, as now they're on the back line. Good backboard defense, get over, has that backboard cleared away. K-Tan with a pass upfield, but Sath, a touch there. Hood trying to find a shot on the go-around, but it's going to be Ball State to move in transition.
Yeah, and they're doing very well right now here, just clearing their lines. They're not panicking defensively. And there you see the panic again coming out, looking for a backboard clear there, when really he just needed to take his time, force a 50 perhaps, make sure that his opponent knows that he's there. And again, look, the offensive nature here in this defense, and that allows that ball from Zet to do very well. He does a lot with that ball, but defense helps him out so much here.
Coast to coast, Zeth? All right. I mean, never lost track of that ball. Do you know how difficult it is to track that all the way from the backboard? Upfield, beat not one, but two defenders. Ball State talented in so many ways, but that may have been the most impressive that they've come out in this game. Number one, Luigi has space again, almost to the net. Zeth wants another touch. He's looking for the double tap. Does he have the boost for the second try? No, it puts it out of contention. No, it doesn't. Get over there to finish it. Ball State, 5 goals on the board now.
Yeah, and they're setting up for the most memest of scorelines. The Brazil is on the cards here, but get over doing very well, putting that upper 90. No saving those shots, especially in that kind of power. But again, another double commit in defense, and it just shows that SHEU are a bit panicky in defense. They look very good offensively, so just have to settle down a little bit defensively, hope that they can clear their lines a bit easier. And you know, when they actually take their time in defense, they look very solid.
It's hard to settle down, though, when the barrage of shots just continue to fire away. Ball State, they don't want to stop scoring. They're pressing up as far as they can. They're blocking this half-court line like it's their requirement, like it's their job. And Luigi comes up with a flexing goal. Look how he orients his octane to get some lift on this shot.
Again, it's just some errors in defense, but it is a fantastic shot from Luigi. He does very well to reach that ball. It's bouncing actually away from him, so he's actually having to scoop it out with his car, and he still gets so much power on it. It's such an impressive shot. Really well done by Luigi, but again, just defensively, just a few whiffs, a few errors, and that's a big demo, though. That's going to relieve some pressure, and the pinch clear is fantastic.
Maybe SAGU can get one on the board. It would help in taking down some of the momentum from Ball State, help to restore that confidence, but that will have to wait for another time. A pinching clear, a boomer lands in for the very thing you called for, Morky, the Brazil.
Brazil 7-1 as the ball hits the back of that lovely pinch goal. You don't see them too often in Rocket League. A lot of players try them, they don't always work out well, but that's just great communication. That's exactly what that is. The players saying, look, come up with me now. We're going to hit this ball together, and they hit it at the correct time. Looking for a double, able to get it. What a clear, though, as well. Lovely play, but SAGU here have just been played off the pitch by this incredible Ball State side.
And that could do it. There is still a little bit of momentum at the last part of the game, but game one is finished. That is a Ball State decisive victory. Morky, I want to hear from you. What is it in particular that put Ball State so far ahead to not only secure this victory, but command it?
Two things. Firstly, their real possession of the midfield, the midline. They basically set an iron wall in the midfield and made it so difficult for their opponents to clear. Secondly, it was their opponents. They played themselves a little bit. So when you're in defense, there's two things you can do. You can either be calm and rational and try to work the rotations, try and make sure you're hitting the ball cleanly. Doesn't matter if you're not getting the long booming clear. As long as you're hitting the ball clean enough, you're fine. Or you panic, you aggressively defend, you whiff the ball. And that's what happened a little bit. And SAGU, if they can clean that up, they've got a really good offensive side. They've got a good midfield side as well, because you saw at times when they put the pressure on Ball State. Ball State were having difficulties dealing with it. However, I think SAGU just need to be a bit more calm in defense. If they do that, then they've got a really good chance here of taking at least a game from this Ball State side.
That's what we are saying, that maybe a break, maybe between game 1 and game 2, they'll get that chance to calm down a bit. This is now 7 wins in a row from Ball State. They swept week 1, week 2, and now they're potentially on the way of doing that again in game 2. I'm curious if maybe Ball State will be approaching a calmer opponent of SAGU, or if they will be coming straight out the gate fiery. Game 2 is off to a hot start, and the Flames could be on SAGU's side.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic start there. Lovely long clip. That's a great read on the backboard by XX Hood, and that's a fantastic clear downfield for now. Opportunity here as that ball comes in field, but